And obviously, you had a long career with the Socceroos, many games, and now your son's the same position. How did you think he went first game against Oman?
Yeah, Jason's evolving as a Socceroo, and he's evolving as a player as well. So it's been a long road for Jason. From the Davidson family. Jason left. He's coming up to 10 years ago. So he left home and he's been on this journey, and the journey is still evolving. So he played okay. I guess he was happy with certain things, aspects of the game, and some things he was thinking about. But generally speaking, he was happy the team won. They kept a clean sheet, and he was part of it. In terms of playing over in England now, he missed pre-season, so he's playing a bit of catch-up where he hasn't been playing regularly, and hopefully, I think Jason made a statement in the press that his career has never been easy. It's always head down and hard work, and it's no different now than when it was, when he was 14, I guess.
And he's got, as he sort of said, after that game, he's got no regrets about moving to the Premier League. Obviously, leaving Holland where he was playing week in, week out, but he's happy where he is. Yeah,
well, I've been over. I just came back from England as well, and there's no doubt he's probably been in the best environment, and he's playing in probably the best league in the world, or involved in the best league in the world with one of the Premier League clubs. And he made a statement saying, he's playing with players. There's 15 internationals in his squad, and the standard, the tempo and intensity. Some of the midweek games they play amongst themselves are harder than the games on the weekend anyway. So there's the competitiveness of the players and wanting to get in the first 11 is very high. The standard's very high, and he thinks, and I think he's in a very good environment as well. I think he wasn't getting challenged enough in Holland, and it was the next step up for him, and the next step up is the next challenge for him, and definitely he's getting challenged, and it might take him 6 months to establish himself, but he knows that if he works hard and perseveres with the environment he's in, and he keeps learning, keeps learning and developing, he'll become a better player, and also obviously that will hopefully help him in good stead with his career.
And with Tony Curtis now at West Brom, do you think that's potentially a good thing? Obviously, did very well with Mela Jednak at Crystal Palace before.
Yeah, I guess it comes back to what Paul's looking for, and I know that Jason was talking to Jednak about what he is, and he's all about hard work. He loves Australians and the hard work and that commitment, so that's a plus. But at the end of the day, Jason's got to go over there and do the business. He's got to work hard and show that he deserves a spot there, and I think one of the things that Jason's realised is that he's gone to the EPL, and he's realised that his power and his strength, he could play as a centre back in Holland, but playing as a centre back in England, he's a midget, so it's totally a different league. They're playing against world-class players week in, week out. So he's in a good environment. He's only 23, and he's in a good environment. And a lot of players would want a contract in the English Premier League, let alone play in the English Premier League. So he's achieved a lot just getting to the English Premier League. Now he's just got to work hard and establish himself in the English Premier League. And that will take time, but he'll get there.
I spoke to him after the Oman game, and sort of mentioned Japan at this tournament. Would it be sort of a dream to play and beat Japan in the final, considering the heritage, yourself and Jason, and obviously the time he spent as a teenager in school over there.
Yeah, I think it's important that Australia does well. I think it's important for Australia and the code itself. But for the Socceroos, regardless who we play in the final, if it's Japan or Iran or whoever, the most important thing is that we get to the final first. And if we do meet Japan in the final and we can beat them in the final, I guess that's a bit of icing on the cake, with regards to Jason, and Jason's got a lot of respect for the Japanese football, and also growing up and learning part of his football, I guess, and developing at an early stage in Japan is something to always be grateful for, and he's got the respect to the Japanese football. I think everyone in Asia respects Japanese football. There's no doubt about it. you know, they're probably the favourites in this tournament. So, not probably, they are the favourites in this tournament. You know, whoever beats Japan will win the Asian Cup.
And obviously we've got a bit of history with Japan. I mean, we sort of knocked them out of the 2006 World Cup, and they've knocked us out of the last 2 Asian Cups. But you mentioned Iran in there, and we all know 97 in Melbourne. So, you know, obviously we can't jump games before they've played, but, you know, that'd be some dream matchups.
Yeah, absolutely.
Potentially.
You know, for us, we should take one game at a time. We've got Korea this weekend or tomorrow, and we've got to get over that. And you know, playing South Korea is not a small task at all. You know, that's the real. I guess if you're going to talk about Asian Championship level, well, Korea, you know, they hold the baton at the top there just as much as Japan.
Yep.
You know, the history of South Korea, so there's no question there. If we get over that, well, then it all goes back to, you know, other games, and I think Iran will be another one that someone's going to have to face, which is going to be a big test, and we've learned from them again. They've knocked us out of a World Cup, and you know, and hopefully we'll meet Japan in the final. But one game at a time, and we keep our fingers crossed, and let's hope that Ange and the boys do well.